Welcome to the Oroville Chinese Temple and Museum. The following video is a tour of the Oroville Chinese Temple given by Dr. Gaing Chan. The video was created by Dr. John Chan.
Chan is our name. Sui Sing Pak is the name of the temple.
Okay.
Sui Sing Pak is the our ancestor.
The temple name. And go ahead. So
this is the Chan temple, started by your grandfather, Jin Kong Yu, when he came to Oroville. Originally, your grandfather went to trucking in 1868. In 1870, he came to Oroville. Like the other religion, every place you go, they have a temple. So this is a Chan temple. And this sign I made back in 1973. The old sign was burned when they had the Chinese theater here. So I bought 2 pieces of redwood and I dialed them together. The high school teacher did for me. And I got these letters from the flag. I projected on there and I carved it out. In 1973, this was flag. And I said this plaque, I gave it to the temple to have a name. In Canton, Guangzhou, China. It's donated by some of the people from China, Chan family, and their grandchildren. And they're given the year of Feng Shui, year from 1880. China was under the Manchuria and Emperor at that time.
Chan's right there. See the symbol?
ready.
Zinc and
Okay, go ahead.
yeah, these are the incense, the candle, and these are made of lead and zinc. Along the wall here, all these are named of the Chans, who are donated money to the Chan temple. And when a child of a Chan family was born, they go ahead and donate some money and put the name on here. In fact, my name's on here, my name's on here somewhere. I look through my, trying to find my name here.
Chan.
Canis, these are all Chans.
So any
There's more Chan.
holiday or thing like that, big celebration, they donate money to the temple. And with the money, sometimes they'll buy the tapestry and things like that.
Go.
This is my ancestor, your ancestor too. Qin Sui Sing Fa. He is during 1100 AD. He's from our area in South China, from the village of Tuisan. During the 1870 or 1880 around there, even earlier than that, they had a big epidemic in Beijing. And they invited to the emperor, said that there's a Chan a god, that we call him God, that they could be able to take him up to Beijing and stop the epidemic. So they carried this image up to Beijing, and sure enough, the epidemic subsided. So the emperor donated, gave him a name. Jin Sui Sing, that's his name. Chan Sui Sing, and Pak is the duke. So he gave the title of duke.
And wait, and go.
Yeah, both the Chan, who from the South China, in the region of Tuisan, worship him. That's where he's from.
Go.
This is the urn that people donate.
And go.
These are urn where they burn their incense and punk, and it's donated to the temple by the different people. This particular urn actually belongs to the Nick temple. Solid brass. And all these carvings on the wall, they really came from the Chinese theater right next door. and it burned down, so they brought these carving over and put over here. Along the wall, the name of all the people who donate money to the temple. Or when somebody get married, they donate money, they put their name on there. When have a child born, they donate money to, they put their name there as well.
Go ahead.
This is a banner that made in China in Guangzhou during the Manchurian dynasty of Kong Sui, probably around about 1870 around there. And it said that Sui Jingba, that name of our ancestor, and they'll go on parade, they will have put a stick up there and carry the banner for parade. And this is donated by some family to the temple.
And go.
Kong Sui is the Manchurian emperor. As you realize that China was conquered by Manchuria around about 1810 and until 1911 when they had the Chinese Revolution. And Kong Sui is the emperor around about 1860, 1870. And this is made at the year of Kong Sui's certain year. You know, in China they don't have a year of our Lord 2008. They go by the emperor reign a year.
Go.
The chant room, as I said before,
And go.
the chant room is in honor of my ancestor, Qin Sui Sing Ba. It belonged 11th century, 1100 AD. And at that time, he was living in South China in the area where we are, called Toisan, the district of Toisan. Back during the Manchu rule of China, the Manchu took over the ruling of China from 1610 to 1911 to the revolution by Dr. Sun Yat-sen. So they had epidemic in Beijing, and they advised to the emperor said that there's a Chan god, Chan person who had mystic power, who was able to go ahead and stop the epidemic. So they took this god of our Chan, took it to Beijing, and sure enough, the epidemic subsided. So then, the emperor gave him the title of Duke.
Action.
This temple is called the Lake Sing Dong. It actually means a temple of many gods, but mainly it's the family of the Liu, the Quan, the Gaing Jew family. They come here to worship, and they donated money to build their temple here. This urn was donated by the Chinese people to this temple, the Qingdong Temple. This was made under the Manchurian Emperor Kong Sui first year. I would say approximately around about 1860, around there, 1870. And then this is solid steel and power from China. I only saw one of these in China in Nanking. They burn the incense here and the money paper.
Go.
This temple is to honor the warrior. The name of the temple is Lik Sing Dong, meaning that the warrior, a temple of many gods. The middle image is Guan Gong. That is his main temple. He's a warrior during the old days. Then the one on the side is Wao, who is a doctor, and the other side is the emperor's wife, Xingwu. They donated these things to this temple mostly from the Liu Quan Gang Yu family.
Go.
When the people come to this temple, they donated money, and then they also try to check their fortune. So these fortune are printed in from these blocks, and then they'll have little sticks in here. You pick it up, and the one that come out you pick it up, and then they got a name on there. From that name, you could go ahead and look for the name of the fortune.
Fortune? Wow. Action.
Okay, the oldest plaque donated by the people to the temple. This the oldest one right here is to the temple of Ba, not letting go. And from the year of Hongji, the emperor, the 13th year, that is around by 1862 or 1863. That's the oldest plaque they have here. So all these plaques are donated to the temple by individuals. The drum and hit the gong with a stick. That is to announce that you're here for the worship.
For the worship?
Yeah.
Okay.
In China, they have a goddess for the doorway coming in, and this is the goddess for the doorway guarding the temple. You come in, and donated by the people.
Then.
This garden was donated by the people. However, the pavilion here, donated by my family, or your family, John. Up there, we donated this pavilion, and it's under your grandfather's name, Chin Ming He, and your grandmother's name, Kim Moy. And we donated this to the city on the memory of our family. This building here is a tapestry hall. During the old days, many tapestry was donated to the Chinese temple, but they had no place to display it. So our family, was custodian of these tapestry. And we told them that when they build a building, so we will just give these tapestry back to the temple for display. So the lady club in Oroville go ahead and ask for contribution and donate money to build this tapestry hall. So all the tapestry are now back at display here. A bronze incense urn, and is made a copy of the Ming period bronze, and this was presented to the temple by the theatrical troupe from China during the Bang Day. This urn has three parts. The top part is the eagle. The middle part, you have the dragon. And the bottom part, you have the dragon also. As you know, dragon is a mystical symbol of China. And they burn incense here. Most of these tapestry, in fact, all these tapestry was donated by the people, Chinese people, to the temple for occasion like a wedding or have a birth of a son. So they donate these tapestry. Many of these some of them were destroyed, but all these were kept. We took custodian of these tapestry, and my mother and father kept these in a trunk and saved all these tapestry, and that we will give back to the city when they have a display hall to display them. Until then, we will keep it. So the lady folks of Oroville had a fundraising thing and raised money to build this tapestry hall. Consequently, we go ahead and donate it back to all these tapestry that we have took custody of, gave back to the city, which belongs to the Chinese people of Oroville.
Wait, ready and action. Go.
This is the oldest, famous tapestry donated to the temple of Oroville. This is the dragon, as you notice. But that's not the dragon, you notice, that the dragon, the feet, has 5 toes. Only the emperor dragon allows the feet will have 5 toes. All the rest only has 3 toes. So this is actually belonged to the imperial family of China.
This is pretty. And they're stupid.
Action.
These Chinese lady costumes were donated by a missionary who was stationed in Beijing, about 17 miles from Beijing, back during the Manchu dynasty. The missionary saw that the Japanese were going to attack China and that they were going to lose a lot of the artifacts. So the missionary told his wife to bring all these artifacts that they have collected, to give it to them by the church member, Chinese church member. So he brought these back to America for display. Otherwise, the Japanese would have taken it all, and included all those puppets as well.
And action.
Since this Temperature Hall was built, a lot of people, American family, who have received artifact from their Chinese worker or farmers or servant, they have all the artifact and they know what to do with it. So they decided to donate all the artifact back to the Chinese temple, so for safekeeping.
That's probably because all they have is.
Two lady, very Caucasian lady, give talk on the clothing that they have collected. One collect mostly Chinese clothing, old Chinese clothing, and the other lady carried the colonial clothing. So the two ladies give talk together. One talk on the Chinese, one talk on the American clothing. So they were getting elderly. So the one that had the Chinese clothing, had a son here with a doctor, and so she donated the Chinese clothing to the temple. Then this other lady who collected colonial clothing said, "We could do mine. We could store mine." So they decided to go to the extra room for the colonial clothing because the two ladies always get talk together throughout the state and the United States.
Action.
This dragon flag was donated to the Chinese temple. It's a dragon, as you notice, and also has 3 toes. This was made in Canton City in China, and they donated this flag that they usually carry on parade, but they decided to give it to this temple. And up there are the carousel. They put a pole and carry that for parade. 70 for the honor of the Chan family.
And go.
This is the banner of the Chan family, and it's a Sui Pak is a Chan name, and in the middle here is Chan. This was donated during the reign of the Manchurian Kong Sui Emperor, the 21st year. This was donated. This is the Moon Temple. It has a circular doorway coming in, and then there is the Buddha. This is the Wong Buddha Temple.
Action.
This is a room for a meeting hall. During the old days, the Caucasian people say that the Chinese people can take care of their own affair. So they have this room here for meeting, draw up the rules and regulations to rule the Chinese population here. This is a council room where they meet. And inside there, you see 2 chariots, beautiful hand-carved 24-karat gold leaf chariot where they go on parade. And the backdrop there is the carving that used to belong to the Chinese theater. It was burned down, but that was saved. It was built by the original Chan family in Oroville. We donated money to build this in the memory of my grandfather, father, my uncle, and our family. And on top there it says Jin Xiu Teng ancestor home. We donated this and brought all the artifacts that we have at our home and gave it to the city. Remember?
And action.
This room here is donated by the Chan family in commemoration of my grandfather, Kim Kong Yu, my uncle, Kim Sen Ting, my father, Kim Xiu Ting, and her family. This is the artifact taken from our store front. They have a clock up there, the old one, built 1924. And we give to city. Here we have the cash register we used to go ahead and use the cash register. And along the wall here, my dad and my grandfather had an herb store. And each one of these drawers has 4 cubicles containing Chinese herb. And people come in to see my folks to get some Chinese herb to get well. That's a Chinese medicine. And this is the original safe that we have at our home for many, many years. And on top of there is our family altar, our own family altar. And then on the right-hand side is a picture of my mother. And then over here, we used to buy gold from the gold miner, and here's the scale that we used to buy gold mining. And on the shelf here are the Chinese books that we had to learn to read Chinese. And along the side here of the plaque commemorating my grandfather, Shin Kong Yu. They give the Fang Li, that was his store, Fang Li, the store name. And actually my grandfather's name is Shin Kong Yu, but they always call him Fang Li. And this is a picture of the old picture of my grandfather, my auntie. And this gentleman here is a John C. Perkin, who later became the state senator and the 14th governor of California, and then became U.S. senator. This is Major McLaughlin, is a Civil War hero, is a very good friend of my grandfather. This is my auntie, sewing good. And this has that boy there, I don't know who he is.
And your grandfather is?
Shin Kong Yu.
And he's right over
here. That's my grandfather right there. And this is the genealogy of our family, dated from the 11th 100 AD. Here's an old picture of our family.
You want to point some people out?
The top part is my grandfather, and the other one is my grandmother in China. This is my father-mother. This is my father and my mother, the young picture. And this is the older picture of my father and mother. And this is my maternal grandfather. And some of the old picture that of our family.
This next video is a tour of the Oroville Chinese Temple, with Rob on the Road, featuring Thil Chan Wilcox.
It's Rob on the Road, discovering the stories that capture the unique spirit of Northern California. Here's KVIE's Rob Stewart.
I am just blown away by what we have found for you on the road today. We're in Oroville at the Chinese Temple, a national treasure dating back to the 1860s. This place is just beautiful. We're inside the Chinese temple with Vice Mayor of Oroville, Thil Wilcox. Good to see you, Thil.
Nice to meet you, Rob, and welcome to Oroville.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here, and this place is beautiful. And you are part of the originating family that built this place.
That's correct. My great-grandfather came to Oroville in 1867, and he was part of the ruling class in China, and he represented the emperor here in Oroville and assisted the immigrants in writing home, collecting taxes for the emperor.
They came here for gold?
That came here for gold and other reasons.
Wow. Well, let's go up to the altar because it is so beautiful, and you say that 3 religions were celebrated in this room, correct?
That's correct. This is actually called Liet Sheng Kong, and it's a temple of many gods. And Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism is practiced here.
All in one.
All in one.
Tell me about these beautiful boards along the walls. Are they prayer boards?
They're prayer boards and they're thank you boards. And what would happen is the immigrants would come here and they would make a request, and they wanted the gods to make sure that they were heard or the requests were seen. And these boards were actually carved in China. And if they were granted their request by the gods, then they would do a thank you board also. So it's a combination of both.
And I can't help but notice right above here to the right of the altar, is that a dragon head?
That's actually a lion head.
A lion head.
And it's
from
paper mache.
parades?
From parades. They utilize that in like the Chinese New Year celebration.
Yes.
And they're made from paper mache.
This is so moving to be here, to see these relics.
Well, you know, it's probably something that I didn't appreciate when I was younger, but, you know, as I've gotten older, I realized that this is a part of my heritage and is part of the reason I am who I am today. And I'm very proud that I have such a strong heritage that is actually traceable.
Well, there's another special room next door that is special to you that I'd like to go see.
Okay.
Okay, come on, let's go check it out. In this room is the final resting place, so to speak, of some very special puppets.
Correct. When the theatrical troops would head north from San Francisco, they would come and do their shows, and this was a way of educating people regarding their heritage and different events that took place. And some of these puppets, we don't know exactly how many we still have in these chests. They were packed up in the late 1920s due to floods.
And they haven't been opened since.
And they haven't been opened since.
This is what they look like if you pulled them out of these crates here, though.
Correct.
So that took a lot of work to restore. I'm sure there other restoration efforts are underway here as well.
We're in the process of trying to find someone to assist us in the restoration of these puppets.
This is a very special room to you. Tell me what this is.
This is actually the Chan Temple. It was built
Your family?
Yes, it was built with donations from my family and members of the Chinese community. This is in memory of one of my family members in China.
Wow.
And my family practiced Confucianism here. Confucianism is a way of showing respect and honor for your family members and your ancestors, and that's what we did. There would be times when we would actually set out full meals on the altar and for our ancestors to enjoy, and then afterwards we would actually enjoy the meal too.
And behind us is the Chan banner.
Correct.
That is just exquisite, and I want to ask you, how do you part with all this stuff?
Well, you know, with many of the artifacts here in the temple, our family felt that it should be shared with the community. And because if you keep it for yourself, eventually members of the family lose interest and they go, you know, who knows, in a chest or even sold. And so by donating it to the temple, then thousands of people are able to enjoy these items.
We're crossing through the courtyard here at the Chinese temple. This is so peaceful.
It is. It's serene, and a lot of people come and just sit in the courtyard. As you can see, we have a fish pond over there, and they just sit here and meditate and enjoy the solitude.
There is solitude here for sure, and we're surrounded by other special rooms, and one of them is the tapestry room.
That's correct.
Which is just will blow your mind. Each tapestry in here, and they are all around us, has a special meaning.
That's correct. They were used by the entertainment troops that came from San Francisco, and they're like billboards. They would tell what the show was going to be about. If you notice, some of them have dragons, some of them have human beings, like the one on the far right represents the emperor's court. So you would know that that was going to be a story about the emperor.
Even if you could or could not read.
That's correct.
Because they're illustrated as well as written.
There's Chinese characters on on both sides of the tapestry that tell you what it's going to be about. But unfortunately, not everybody was able to read them. So therefore, if they would look at the tapestry, they would have an idea as to what the program was going to be about.
Wow. And these, well over 100 years old.
Well over.
And yet the color is still so vivid and vibrant.
Well, you know, members of my family stored these tapestries for years, just so that eventually when a place was built to showcase them, they would be available. So
I'm glad they did. This is also more than the temple. This was the center of town.
That's correct. This was actually the center of Chinatown here in Oroville. This is the council chamber and where the Chinese community conducted their business. The Chinese community took care of their own, basically. We were not under the Anglos who were in town, and the Chinese would come here and have letters written home to send money back to China, and my great-grandfather would collect taxes to send to the emperor.
Wow, to the emperor in China.
To the emperor in China. So even though, you know, everyone pays taxes,
yes,
even back in the 1800s.
Phil, tell me about the Fong Li room.
Okay, the Fong Li room is a reproduction of the front room in my grandparents' business, which was also their residence. And Fong Li means big profits. You know, in Chinese, everything is symbolism, and you don't name something or have something without it representing something else.
And in this room, herbs were sold for Chinese medicine.
Gold was purchased for the government because,
and weighed.
And
And then sent back?
And sent back to you know, Washington, D.C. And also there's a family tree in there that shows our family tree from the 16th generation forward. And we actually have information going back to 500 AD.
You're kidding. For your family?
For our family.
Wow, that just must be so special for you to be here and to know that your family was everywhere here.
Oh, they were. And you know, my grandparents had 5 sons and a daughter that lived to adulthood. And, you know, the Chinese or Asian way is that you live with your parents until you can go and provide your own home. And so the first 5 years of my life was in my grandparents' home.
Well, a lot of lives were changed here, not just yours.
That's true.
A lot of
Absolutely.
people. It's been so good to be with you. Thank you so much.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too for joining us here on Rob on the Road in Oroville at the Chinese Temple. Thanks.